everyone, and welcome back to our Mental Health Monday series. Today we're going to be talking about seasonal affective disorder. So what is seasonal affective disorder? So it is a form of depression where the disorder is identified with major depressive disorder with a seasonal pattern. People with seasonal affective disorder experience mood changes and symptoms that are similar to depression. The symptoms usually occur during the fall and winter months when there is less sunlight and usually improve with the arrival of spring. The most difficult months for people with seasonal affective disorder in the United States tends to be January and February. So, what can we do about seasonal affective disorder? So there are a couple of options. First and foremost, I do encourage increasing vitamin D. So they have different packets that you can put into waters, they have gummies, they have so many different options now when it comes to this vitamin. I highly encourage as soon as the weather changes that you start increasing your vitamin D. Increase that orange juice intake, whatever it is that you have to do, really try and start as soon as you notice that change in the weather. Something else that's really helpful are mood seasonal lamps. So you can go onto Amazon and find these. You literally just type in seasonal lamps, seasonal mood lamps, and they will start to come up. Now, the most beneficial way to use these is on a consistent pattern. So, for example, you wake up each morning, you turn on the lamp, you find kind of the setting that works best for you, and you just kind of sit there with the light reflecting onto you, taking some breaths in and out. Again, it's got so many different settings. You can manipulate it until you find one that works for you. So after sitting with the lamp for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, I would encourage going ahead and turning it off, getting up, doing your normal routine that you would do, and starting your day. The next time you're going to want to use the lamp is going to be at nighttime. So when you're doing your nighttime routine, again, 3 to 5 minutes of sitting with the lamp, find that right adjustment, and you're just going to focus on breathing. So again, turning on the light, breathing in and out, and just letting it reflect onto your body. Something else that you can do when you're struggling with the seasonal affective disorder is really encourage your mind and your body to go outside. I know it can be really tough because of the cold weather, but at least once a day, if you're someone who finds yourself hibernating, try to step outside and just take that breath of fresh air to remind you that you are still present, you're not alone, and there is a big wide world out there, okay? So once a day, stepping outside and just taking that breath and that moment to acknowledge is really important. It's also important that you increase your warmth at this stage if you're someone who does get really cold very easily and find that that affects your mood as well. So finding, the extra fuzzy socks, the warm blankets, increasing, your heat intake. If you find that you really struggle with being cold during these few months and it really affects you, I do again highly encourage creating more warmth wherever it is that you are so that can bring down some of that consistent feeling of coolness, which can again lead to some internal agitation. Seasonal affective disorder typically, again, starts when we start to see the shift in weather. So really pay attention where it is that you live when you start to see that shift. Here in the Midwest, we do typically see it between beginning of September to end of September, and it's very rapid. It goes from being 80s, 90s to being 60s all of a sudden. So as soon as we see that change, that's when we need to start again increasing our vitamin D, getting out the mood lamps, and just being aware of everything going on around us. And the biggest thing to remember with seasonal affective disorder is to remind yourself that this will eventually pass and we will have warm weather come back around. It can be really hard to remember that when it's really cold and you're struggling, but again, taking the time to just take that breath and remind yourself that this is going to pass, this is not a permanent state. So again, seasonal affective disorder, we've got the mood lamps, being aware of the cold, going outside at least once a day, increasing the vitamin D, and making sure that your surroundings are warm and comfortable. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much, guys, for paying attention and coming back to these, and have a great Monday. And remember, mental health matters.